Last email, I mentioned, with the approval of the board, because I'm speaking for them when I write it, there will be no assessment and no increase to the HOA for the construction of this project. We said it, we even put it in the brochure. So my point is, yes, we have to keep repeating it, but it's, what don't they understand? Not so much the people who are against us or whatever. The answer is, we're up front, and that's why I was in the last one. And that's why the project, when it came in over budget, we had to revisit it because we had to bring the numbers down. And we're gonna do it, and whatever. So we have, that's the word that has to get out there. And many of you have said to people, because you've read it, say, hey, they're not assessing us. They're not gonna hit it. Now, if they wanna say, I don't believe them, nothing we can do about that.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to Mo for
Well,
1
maybe
second.
not
and
to
get to
what Herb said. There's four, what I like to leave from this meeting, and what I think that you should get out to everybody directly, not rely on us getting back to the people who want us to. Number one, are there any scope changes? And the answer I hear is no. At this point, the scope of the project remains the same, correct? Balcony and all that stuff.
Right.
Number two, the time frame. I don't hear that yet. What is the expected time frame? And granted, everything can change, but at this point in time, when is this project going to be completed? I think people should know that, subject to changes, like you said, if there's a burial or whatever. But that that should get out now. What is the when can we come back to a clubhouse? That's number two. Number three, the cost. And Herb is saying that right now the cost is still within budget. There's no, and attached to that one is number four. Is there going to be any more assessment? The answer to that at this point is no.
Not even at this point.
Okay, so those are the 4 points that you should get out 4 bullets if necessary. But that has to come out from the board as an email and any other way, a letter to everybody. And then every month or so, there should be, okay, now what's the story on these 4 points in March? What's in April? What is it in May? What is it in June? People will be, all this other stuff, whether there's permits or all this other stuff, you know, you can put that out as supplements. But those 4 basic questions, everybody has to know the answer to.
Right, so I
On
don't
a
mean to cut you
periodic
off,
basis.
Mo, but I wanna just make sure I'm clear. Changes in scope, which it does not occur to us that people think there's changes in scope, because we would tell them.
David Cohn put something on, next door yesterday, saying, I am sure, or I would not be surprised if we find that they're gonna cut out this.
Okay, but then again, that's, and with no disrespect to David Cohen, that's clearly David Cohen's opinion,
Right.
because he
Right.
doesn't know the facts. So
But
take
they're
that for what it's
telling them
worth.
the
So we'll give you the facts, and then everybody will know it's not true.
But you're
So,
telling them the
I
fact.
just wanna make sure that I get all 4, because I only have 3 written down. I have changes in scope, time frame, and changes in price. What's the
Well,
4th?
also, it's just the fact that there's no assessment plan. Say that, even if you say it every single time, say it.
Okay, and you are clear, everybody in this room is clear. There is no change, there is no assessment,
I have
right?
a question. Can you get 95 fixed so we have Sam? Why don't you have a master board meeting on 95 and answer the questions?
Okay,
The board in front of the whole community.
Isn't this going on 95 right now?
it will go on at 95 and the internet once everybody.
Charlie,
agrees.
how about a special edition of the New Charlotte Times, even if it's a 4-pager, just saying that?
We're not gonna produce it.
Why not?
Not until the end of the year.
We have a problem with I think it advertises for us to get together, the group, which is only about 4 people. It's unfortunate, but we did make a decision that the summer issue, will not have a summer issue. Perhaps we can have a fall issue, but
Well,
right
just do a
now,
4-pager with just this information.
Okay, but that would just be a bulletin from the Master
he's
Association,
sending out
not the
weekly
Venetian
ones.
Islands, not the
But
Venetian
I think
Islands.
if the community saw the board, master board, on TV,
Right.
answer all these questions, it would solve a lot of problems and do it once a month.
Well, we tend to agree, again, I thought, I mean, it really was Lynthia's idea to do the TV spots. I'm the only person that would get on and do it. I can't answer to why people won't do it. A lot of people are not gonna get on TV.
Charlie,
They don't wanna be-
you're a good speaker, Herb, you're.
Okay, so besides that, and I will
The community
tell
would
you.
like it if you
I
were on.
yell.
Right, so I will tell you, that ship excuse the word, is available on YouTube. So I'm getting calls from employees I had 20 years ago that are like, oh, now you're a TV star. Not anything I wanted to do, but the reality is we do understand we've got to get communication out in whatever form we can until we can all meet again. So this, the reason we are taping parts of this is so that people do see the board is involved. The fact that people think the board is not involved is so absurd. I can't even think of another word. There's so much to do, so many decisions to
They
make.
think you're running the place.
Right, and
You're running the place.
I run the place,
And
you
it
know.
aggravates me when they say that.
Right, so listen, let's use a different analogy. You know, there's a chairman of the board at Coca-Cola. And then there's a guy who's on the television talking about Coca-Cola. And that is the spokesperson that you listen to. That's not the guy who's in the boardroom making the decisions. He's just the messenger. Am I functioning as a little more than that because I'm hired to be the manager? Yes, I bring the expertise of how to run an association, how to keep the finances in order, how to meet the statutory requirements under 720, and all those different things, how to run a meeting under Robert's rules. That's what I do for a living here, folks. I am not here to do all this other stuff.
So let's say, where do we go from this point? What's the action plan? What's the action plan right now?
So the action plan is we want to answer all these questions in this forum so that we understand that each person leaving here can shake their head and say, I understand the answer to that question the way it was explained.
Are we sending this out as an
Yes.
as a blast?
It will go out as an e-blast. It
Okay.
will be posted on My Venetian Isles, and it will be on the TV station.
Okay, and I also suggest that you, as a preamble to this, by way of introduction to this, some subset of what you said before, summary, in summary form of where we are, and the approach to getting to the final product, somehow a paragraph as a preamble to that, which is a summary.
So in that summary, so far we have answer
Those
whether
four.
there's changes in scope, if
Those
there's a
four
time frame change, a change in price, and no assessment. Is there anything else anyone in the room?
I haven't
thinks-
read the document yet.
Okay,
I think we need to go over the document and say what we think needs to be.
we're gonna, but to his point, I wanna finish, but he's right, we need a summary.
You have, the fact that you have weekly, 2 different meetings every week with the project managers, that by name and whoever else,
Right,
updating the scope of the project. So just some of those processes that you are doing, that the board is doing, and that you are communicating to us through the TV program what the board is doing, making the point that you're not making the decisions. The board, you are the communicator of the board's will.
okay.
I don't know, I haven't written it out, I haven't really, but that's the way I see this coming out. Some kind of a summary paragraph, 14 specific answers to specific questions. You can read those as you choose.
How about the project manager?
One second, let Sheila talk to Sheila.
Okay, this is fabulous, but my suggestion, because I know if you send this down the way it is, nobody's gonna read it. They don't have the patience to read it. My suggestion is all these bullet points, line them up,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
answer on page 4. Because they don't have the time or the patience.
Oh, that's a good idea, like a table of contents.
Correct.
Perfect.
Right. In other words, the opening, paragraph, you know, we had a meeting this morning, and these are, you know, that there's no change in scope, you know, all of that stuff could be in that first paragraph. And then you put each of these things and answer on, or not even answer on. If you wanna find the answer, it's in here. And like on page 2, just have it like this, but nobody will go and read everything. Put the bullet points so they know this is what we discussed, and if they wanna find the answer,
Yes.
scroll down.
Then you number each paragraph.
Yeah.
One.
Yes.
Makes perfect sense.
But there's some that are more important than others, like you
We
have
can
one, two.
reorganize
We
them.
need, we need
Yeah.
an order, we need
Because
the
they're
order,
not, nobody's gonna,
but we need the order change.
Right, and the purpose of this paper being given out to you was really to make sure that the meeting stayed focused on what we thought the community wants answers to. So we can
Also-
reorganize it any way you want.
You should leave some copies up at the guard gate.
Okay, I mean, that's easy.
Not these though, these have to be.
No, once the final product is.
Right, once it went out, I would leave some at the guard gate.